Hello. On the way here, I remember when I was offered the job as a ecologist in the Midlands. And as a young ecologist, the job prescription matched every aspiration. Was dealing with biodiversity, protected species surveys. But the location, it was on the in the Midlands, working at the strategic road network. Now that was quite intriguing because we all know that kind of roads in nature, they don't really go along together. There is always a conflict. Um, they are quite they pollute the air. They disturb the wildlife. There's a number of a lot of studies. They actually gone through it, and they come up with loads of different things. They have attacked roads in so many ways and how it affects nature. Um, but the main thing is that they are part of our landscape. We actually our humanity, our civilization actually evolved around roads, and a lot of us, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So they are here to stay. So the trick is how we're going to actually deal with it. Is how can we make them better? Roads now they play a really important role in terms of biodiversity. They are often the best quality habitat in the area. This one is the A30 in Devon, and when you look at just the amount of hedgerows it connects, the biggest part of the woodland is actually part of the Verge. So there we have some really kind of old trees. They've got protection orders on them. Um, and the other thing is the Verges, they are quite big. If you put them together, I mean, in England and Wales, the amount of soft state covered by road verges is 178,000 hectares, which is a considerable area. I mean, in England alone, the Highways England, they manage nearly 30,000 hectares, which make Highways England one of the biggest land managers in the country. Um, and the other thing, as sad as this may sound, road verges for some people is the only connection they have to the natural world. When they leave their house and they jump in their car and they look, so that's the only greenery they see. So it's quite important. So it's a value that hasn't really been kind of taken into account as it should. So I'm going to give you a few examples of things that we have done. I'm based in the southwest of England, so we're trying to kind of attract, reinforce the road verges as an asset because that's what they are. They're not liabilities because a lot of people treat them as problems. The trees that fall and stop traffic, and then all the maintenance and the cost associated with it. So the first thing we need to know is what we've got. So this is as an exercise we did. This called as a software which we use is called i3, which helped us to come up with values. It gives financial values to our soft estate. This is just looking at trees. So in the southwest of England, we've got about 500 hectares of woodland. So this is the values that we got. That's the tree cover, it's 34.9%. That's the most common species. And the replacement cost, if we took out all those trees and had to replace them, this is what it cost us. 91 million pounds, which is quite a lot. Plus all the other benefits they give you. Pollution, the carbon storage, which is a big one. Carbon sequestration, the avoided runoff, which is a really important for roads because they can actually retain a lot of the water that would enter the drainage network. And a number of other values. The screening is another one which is quite important because although people they like to live next to the road, they don't like to see the traffic. Although they have many ways of stopping it, but there's no better way than actually having a green belt in front of the road to actually stop it. Carrying on. The other thing is we're very keen on creating habitat and protecting the natural world and to do it the best we can to actually enhance our road verges. The problem is we need to know what we've got and what there are and what's the best place of actually build these improvements. So what we've done, we designed a model. It's a computer model. We used records from protected species records, designated sites, all the habitats within the road corridor. We can use aerial photography to extract information such as hedgerow, tree cover. We put everything into a computer, very powerful computer. You lock the door, and then 3 weeks later, you come up with something like that tells you the key areas and the reasons behind it, and kind of 3 areas of the Verge where you should concentrate your habitat construction on. So it's really useful. It's particularly useful now for creation of species-rich grassland, which is a big thing now following the national pollinator strategy that came out a couple of years ago. So focus on that. The software kind of provides you with an idea where you want to do or where you should do it. And what I have come up with is a really cheap way of creating species-rich grassland on road verges. Basically, we harvest the material from an existing, well-managed meadow. We prepare the ground, and what we do with the arisings of that, we just spread on prepared ground where you have created a tilt. You just collect the whole material from the donor site and put in your receptor site. And it proved to be quite simple. It's been adapted to road verges because it's really simple and very efficient. The only thing is it's critical the timing that you actually harvest your material. So you have to kind of time it to, depending on the species you're talking about, will be July or August, so that you capture the highest amount of seeds. So with this, you can use seeding. You can actually hand seed other plants or whatever. We can use other plants such as Devil's Biscabius for marsh fritillary, depending on the pollinator or whatever target species that you're working on. You can use plug plants. And the beauty of that is that it's quite easy to do, and you can replicate it almost anywhere. And it's a cheap way of doing it as well. The other initiative we'll be working on is proposing a green bridge in Devon, just south of Exeter. This is Howden Forest. It's a site of a specific interest on both sides, and we have the trunk road that cuts it in half. This is an area for years. It was one of the top 3 deer casualty locations. And there's not much you can do, because literally what the road does, you actually kind of fragment habitats. This is the severance effect. This is quite obvious. So deer, they don't know traffic. All they know is that they have to move, and they have to look for green grass or browsing opportunities. So they cross. And one of the main species here is fallow deer. And they should actually be fallow deer, because once one cross, you get a whole herd follows. And we try to fence. The problem with fencing is that if you fence this area, you're always moving the crossing point elsewhere. So one of the best solution for that would be build something like that. This is the Green Bridge in Holland. Is a structure designed for purpose, built entirely just for wildlife crossing. And the benefits of the Green Bridge is not just for wildlife in this case. Howden is a fairly popular place for mountain bikers. So we've got, we'll certainly have the kind of the potential to attract tourism, which will probably become a tourist attraction, I think, in the area. And the structure is it's a 2-arch structure, which we got over the central reservation there, which is fairly wide. There are quite a few engineering constraints we're working on, but the location is almost being kind of chosen. Yeah, I think this will look amazing once it's built. It's going to just kind of link both sides of the forest, and the triple SI is actually is the main reason for designation, particularly for the birds of prey. So the structure will be a hybrid structure. Will allow enough room for footpath and cycleway across. I think I'm really keen. We're starting all the environmental assessment procedure this year. All the ecological surveys are going to be in place, and preliminary design is going to be carried out as well. So hopefully we'll get this one and solve a problem. And I think this will be the first of its kind in the country. So we're hoping it will be over 30 meters. There's a bit of a debate at the moment, but the wider the better when you're talking about green bridges. So we'll try to kind of bring the green into the grey this time, so we'll do our best. But the good thing about this, you can actually bring kind of bigger trees, you can bring semi-mature trees, you can actually build kind of pre-built hedgerows and kind of put the habitat linkage straight away. But there's a number of things. I mean, some of these things you never see when you're driving on a high-speed road. You know, there's life out there, but you can't see them when you're driving at 70 miles an hour. So these all these things are photographs coming from the roadside. And then I've been working on a prototype of health and safety for the hazel dormouse. Thank you very much.